Well, hello, dragons. Hey, happy Thursday. It's story time again. Here I am with you guys. And yeah, you guessed it. I'm out and about on the campus. If you pay close enough attention when you're walking around Dudley, you probably got a pretty good sense where I am right now. If you listen carefully, that might be a little bit of a hint right there. I'll reveal where I'm at the end of our little story today. We're reading Cam Jansen and the Snowy Day Mystery. Remember, there's been some computers stolen from the computer lab. Cam Jansen was feeling like yesterday she had a pretty good sense of what was going on. I wonder if you've made a guess on what you think happened. And today we've got the last two chapters, chapter 7 and chapter 8. So let's get going. What's Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Chapter 7. What's it? Eric whispered. I know how to catch the computer thieves, Cam answered. I'm sure I do. Eric said, you have to tell Mrs. Bell and Dr. Prell. You have to tell Officer Oppen and Officer Davis. Cam closed her eyes and said, click. Why are you clicking? Eric asked. I thought you already solved the mystery. Cam didn't answer. Instead, she said, click again. With her eyes closed, she wrote in her journal. Then she opened her eyes, looked at what she had written, and told Eric, let's go. Cam took her journal. Then she and Eric went to Mrs. Benson. We need to leave the room. We need to speak to Dr. Prell. But you just came back. This is important, Eric said. Cam knows how to find Ms. Bell's computers. Promise me, Ms. Benson said, that you'll spend some time in class today? We promise, Eric said. Eric and Cam left the room. Wait, Danny called to them. I'm going too. Danny was at the door. Ms. Benson was right behind him. And just where are you going? Ms. Benson asked. It was my computer that was stolen. We're all going to help catch the thieves, Danny smiled. He pointed to his head and said, you know, I have some good ideas in here, some real good ideas. Don't fool around, Ms. Benson told Danny. Then she let him go too. In the hall, Eric pointed to Danny's head and said, I think all you have in there are bad jokes. That's not true. I have good jokes in here, lots of them. Cam, Eric, and Danny hurried to the office. We need to see Dr. Prell, Eric told Ms. Wayne, the principal's secretary. Mrs. Wayne asked, what did Danny do now? Nothing, Danny said. Was it a fight? Is someone hurt? Is someone sick? Ms. Wayne asked. No, Danny said. It's about the computers. Oh, Mrs. Wayne. She looked to be sure no one else was listening. Then she leaned forward and whispered, did you know some computers were stolen? Yes, Eric said, and Cam knows how to catch the people who took them. Oh, Ms. Wayne, you should tell that to Dr. Prell. Mrs. Wayne picked up the handset to her telephone. She pushed a button and told Dr. Prell that Cam, Eric, and Danny wanted to see her. She listened for a moment and then said, you may go right in. Dr. Prell was sitting by her desk. Cam told her, the thieves drove off with the computers in the trunk of their blue car. How do you know that? Dr. Prell said. This morning, Cam began. Oh, it doesn't matter how you know, Dr. Prell said, and it doesn't help. There must be hundreds, maybe thousands of blue cars in this town. Cam opened her journal, but only one with the license plate BMY241. Dr. Prell picked up the handset to her telephone. I'm calling the police. And she started to dial the telephone. Then she stopped. No, she said, first, tell me how you know who took the computers. Yeah, Danny said, how do you know? When all those parents came in with their children this morning, a thief came in too. He went to Mrs. Bell's room, opened the window, and passed 3 computers to someone waiting outside. Yeah, Danny said, and one of those computers was mine. The thieves didn't carry those computers away. They couldn't, so someone would have seen them. And they're heavy, Eric said. So the thief outside carried them to their car. It was in the parking lot. The parking lot is on the side of the building and no one saw them. What about the teachers? Danny asked. They came to school earlier, Cam said, but how do you know it's a blue car? Dr. Prell asked. And how do you know the license plate number? I can tell you that, Eric said. There were lots of cars here this morning. Lots of parents drove their children to school. Mine didn't, Danny said. I came by bus. Parents drove to the front of the school, Eric said, and that's where they stopped their cars. That's right, Dr. Prell said. The only people who go in through the back door are teachers. But we saw a blue car leave from the back of the school with BMY 241 on its license plate. Now who would leave from the back? Cam asked. The thieves, Danny said. The thieves. Dr. Prell picked up the handset to her telephone again. She called the police. She told Officer Davis about the blue car. Dr. Prell looked at Cam's journal. Then she told Officer Davis to look for a car with the license plate BMY 241. Chapter 8. I wish I had a click memory, Danny said. Then I wouldn't forget so many jokes. You remember enough, Dr. Prell said. Here's one I didn't forget, Danny said. What goes ha-ha thud? Dr. Prell, Cam, and Eric didn't answer. Instead, Dr. Prell asked Cam, I'm sure you don't know every car's license plate. How do you remember the one on the blue car? Well, while we were on the bus, Eric said, we played a memory game. We do that a lot. Cam looks around and clicks. She closes her eyes and I quiz her. I ask tough questions, so Cam tries to remember everything. Really, Danny said again. This is a good one. What goes ha-ha thud? Memory games are fun, Dr. Prell said. Then she looked at her watch. Oh my, it's almost time for lunch. You should go back to class. I'll let you know if I hear from the police. Someone who's laughing his head off, Danny said. That's what goes ha-ha thud. That's very nice, Dr. Prell told Danny. Now, please, go back to class. Cam, Eric, and Danny left Dr. Prell's office. Goodbye, Ms. Wayne said as they walked through the office door. We did it, Danny whispered to Ms. Wayne. Right about now, the police are arresting those computer thieves. Oh my, Ms. Wayne said. That's wonderful. When they were in the hall, Danny said, here's another good one. How do you send a wig? Do you think the police will catch the thieves? Eric asked. Every car is registered, Cam said. They just have to check who owns the car with the BMY 241 license plate. If it's the thieves' car, if it isn't stolen, they'll catch them. You send a wig hair mail. Do you get it? It's hair, so you send it hair mail, Danny said. Not air mail. Here's another one. Do you know why a hummingbird hums? It knows the tune, but it doesn't know the words. That's why. Oh, boy. When they came to class, Ms. Benson was teaching a math lesson. Cam, Eric, and Danny sat in their seats and opened their notebooks. Copy the homework problems, Ms. Benson said. The lesson was done. Ring, ring. It was time for lunch. Cam, Eric, and the other children in the class took their lunch bags and boxes from the closet. Then they went to the lunchroom. Eric unwrapped his sandwich. Jelly on toast, he told Cam. I have American cheese on pumpernickels, Cam said. Hey, Danny said and pointed. Look, it's Dr. Prell and the police. Dr. Prell and Officer Oppen and Officer Davis were at the lunchroom door. They're looking for someone, Danny said. Dr. Prell smiled. She spoke to the two police officers. Then they walked toward Cam and Eric's table. Danny fell to the floor. He got on his knees, held his hands together, and called out, Please don't arrest me. I'm innocent. I tell you, I'm innocent. No, you're not, Beth said. You're guilty of telling bad jokes. Really bad jokes. Officer Oppen has some good news, Dr. Prell said. We found the car, Officer Oppen told Cam and Eric. The computers were still in the trunk. We also arrested the thieves, Officer Davis said. You deserve a reward, Dr. Prell told Cam and Eric. Hey, what about me? Danny asked. I helped. Get off the floor, Dr. Prell told Danny. Then, whoops. Then she smiled and said to Cam's entire class, "You're all get rewards." Dr. Perel went into the kitchen and came out with a large box of ice cream, cups, and wooden spoons, enough for everyone. "Let's celebrate," Dr. Perel said. Dr. Perel sat at the table with Cam and her friends. She took the lid off a cup of vanilla ice cream and started to eat. Officer Oppen and Officer Davis sat too, one on each side of Danny, and ate ice cream. Danny looked to his right at Officer Oppen. He looked at his left at Officer Davis. Danny pretended to be afraid. "I'll be good," Danny said. "I promise I'll be good." "That means no more jokes in class?" Beth said. Danny agreed. "No more jokes." "Wow," Beth said and laughed. "No more of Danny's jokes. That's really a reason to celebrate." Dr. Perel laughed. "I want to remember this day, the day Danny stopped telling jokes in class," Cam said. Cam got up. She took a few steps back. She looked at Dr. Perel, Eric, Danny, and the two police officers, Beth, and the others in the class, blinked her eyes again, and said, "Click." And that is the end of this story. My goodness gracious. That was a fantastic story. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed sharing it with you. And I'm sure you're wondering about the little mystery we've got going on right here. Where is Mr. Jackson on campus? Well, I'll tell you what. Let me give you a quick peek. If you look over here, you'll see, that's right, I'm out in the History Center. That's it. Out here between the B wing and the C wing, checking things out.